Hello, good day, viewers. Today is another episode of our News Echoes. And as usual, I'll be with me is dear panelists. I am Dr. Godwin Ibe, and joining me today is from all the way from Toronto, Sir George Chuku. Welcome, Sir George.
Good morning, Dr. Ibe, and good morning, viewers from around the world. Today is a great day indeed, and we have such wonderful news for you. Stay tuned.
Great. And also joining me is Ambassador Nat Iyako from all the way from Britain. Welcome, Ambassador Nat.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ibe. Nice to see you. Nice to see the legends, especially from Canada, Ottawa, Toronto, Toronto, and Italy. Thank you so much. I hope you are hearing me.
Yes, we can
hear you. Yes, we can hear you. Okay,
Thank you very
and
much.
of course, the lady in the house, BD, from all the way from Lagos. Hello, BD. How are you today?
I'm all right, Dr. Ibe. Good to have you again today. Sir George, Ambassador Nat, good morning. Good morning, our viewers all around the world.
Good morning, BD.
Good morning, Billy.
And last but not the least is the Massive Mark from Milan, all the way from Milan. How are you today, Massive Mark?
Yes. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Sir George. Good morning.
Okay.
Godwin. I greet everybody. It's good to see you all.
Yes. So we have a lot to talk about today, and I would like us to start with the Lagos mass burial for NSAS victims, and the dramatic rearrest of CBN Governor Emefiele. So I think I would like to start with the heart of Nigeria, Lagos. PD, what do you think about the mass burial of the NSAS victim and the, do I say, dramatic rearrest of ex-CBN Governor Emefiele?
Yeah, the Lagos mass burial of 103 dead bodies. It actually started by a leaked memo. It was a memo given out. Probably some people were saying probably they did not pay the person because it was meant to be a secret something. It was shaded in secrecy. They had to make a burial of 103 corpses. Victims are started shouting, and Lagos State said it's not NSAS people, and they're asking them who are there, and they've not yet said anything. Now, you remember in October 2020, when this happened, DJ Jet, who was there on the ground, said that he did a live show. This one is not a reported like what we are reporting here now. It was a live show. He said that 2 vehicles has come to take out dead bodies, and Lagos State government said it's not true. They denied it. And within that period, a lot of people came saying that their people are missing. Now, Amnesty International has come out to say that burial will not hold, that they need an autopsy to certify what killed those people and probably where they were killed before that burial will happen. Now, the question a lot of people is asking is that Nigeria have a way of discharging international organization or international body when they want to get involved in their thing. They are not saying that would they allow Amnesty International to do what they've said they would do by finding out what killed these people and where they were killed. And it's easy from the bullets that was killed them, because if they conduct an autopsy on these people, I'm telling you about 75 or 80% of them will be shown to be killed by bullets. And now somebody said, how do you know it was shot in Lagos? I said, they would test the bullets at which they were killed. So it's easy. But the question is, will Lagos state government or will federal government allow Amnesty International carry out this investigation in full? So that is what has been happening. And Lagos State Nigerians are not taking it easy. Because if you remember, they said nobody was killed at Lekki tollgate. And 3 years down the line, they had to bury 103 people. Do you know what it is? This shows that the life of Nigerian citizen is worth nothing. Now,
Yeah, thank you so much, BD. Thank you so much, BD. No, continue. Okay, continue. You want to add
now
something?
about the rearrest of Emefiele. Emefiele was taken to court and he was granted bail. The correction center guide brought him. He was granted bail. The list of bail he was granted to. And the correction guide are expected to take Emefiele back until these bail conditions are met. But behold, we have DSS there to arrest him. They did not just arrest him as a DSS to represent what they represent in Nigeria, but it was a shameful act that they put up there. They even came in hood, masking their face. Now, somebody keep asking, why masking their face? The only time we saw this kind of thing happen in Nigeria was during the time of Goodluck Jonathan when he was acting president at National Assembly. And what did Goodluck Jonathan did? He sacked Darwa. Darwa was the Director General of DSS then. He sacked it. Now, will Bola Tinubu, our president, do that? That's what Nigerians are saying. Now, I'm saying, will he sack the present DG of DSS? How will he sack him? Probably he was the one who sent them to go and rearrest Emefiele.
Yeah, here are some pictures of the NSAS movement. It seems like an attempt to put this behind us as quickly as possible, and not to get to the root of evidence, to get to the root of the matter, as ascertain the cause of death and who exactly are involved and everything. But don't hear from me. I think I would like to hear from our panelists what they also think about it. Let's hear from all the way from London, Ambassador Nat. What do you think about this mass burial? And considering the fact that nobody has been arrested, even though a panel was set up, after long denials of the casualties, and now a mass burial, and I hear that some money, about 62 million naira, was earmarked for this. What do you have to say about it?
Thank you very much, Dr. Ibe. It brings back very, very sad memories and very unfortunate. And we will have loved to put this behind us. You see, but the government, again, has never come out clean, especially the governor of Lagos State, Sanwo-Olu. We know when this thing happened is it 2020, October or thereabout?
Yeah.
Initially, Sanwo-Olu, up to today, says nobody was killed at the toll gate. And he initially even said soldiers were not involved. He kept telling lies and lies and lies until along the line he started trying to concede and agree that something went on terribly wrong. And we are aware that Sanwo-Olu immediately now has a second time in his pocket. He's not talking of this issue of mass burial of corpses that were picked all over Lagos, but none of them is from the tollgate massacre. And contrarily, there are facts, there are figures, there are evidences that there were massacres at the tollgate on that October 2020, and for mass burial, 103 citizens of Lagos, or coming, even if it is one person, we're talking of the life of human beings. We are talking of 103. You haven't showed any remorse.
There was no war.
No,
There was
it
no
was not.
war.
There was no war.
war.
No war. It was
103
no.
people. It's
Yeah,
finished.
103, and you casually come and advertise that nobody has come to claim the corpse. Uh, people, advertisement were made, nobody came, and people should move on. I mean, we've lost this conscience as a nation, as individuals, that your citizens. Let's even assume most of them are from Lagos, and
People's brothers,
yes,
sisters,
and
brothers.
and, and, and you think it's not a big deal for Sanwo-Olu and his government to secretly, if that memo did not leak, requesting for money and other things, maybe we never have heard about it. They would have been buried secretly, quietly, and that will be the end. So I think Sanwo-Olu should check himself if he has a conscience. If he doesn't have, I want to believe he's a Christian. I don't know what type of Christian he is. He has an account to give to the Almighty God who created these 103 people. Let's see how it's going to go. But we have had journalists who participated in the panel that was set up. Fami Roti or somebody, Dele Farati, has come out to say the government is not telling us the truth. The government has not come out to tell the citizens the truth. But the truth has a way of telling itself one day in the future. We try to bury so many things, but some of these things will not be buried. Sanwo-Olu should be very, very conscious of that. The other issues, come again, please remind me. The
Arrest of
Emefiele.
Emefiele.
You see, the Emefiele thing is Tinubu versus Emefiele. We know the relationship that existed before Tinubu became president. When he was a presidential candidate, we know Emefiele he bought the forms. He bought the forms, and he eventually had to withdraw. And so, but we know that Yarufai had announced even before the election that when they win these elections, they are going to deal with Emefiele. If Emefiele, as governor of the central bank, made mistakes or did something wrong, the rule of law, the due process should be followed. Take him to the usual court and not disgracing him. The way he was even arrested, the way he was bundled into a pickup van and taken to Abuja, and then came back to Lagos. The DSS is telling the world that they saw a gun and ammunition in Emefele's house. I mean, this is very petty. Again, the DSS is not in a position to deal with firearms. That is police responsibility. But the DSS have taken it over itself to dabble into other people's businesses. The other day it was DSS versus EFCC over a building. There is need for us to also put on record. You see, it was not during Jonathan's regime, it was during Buhari's regime that Lawan, who was DG DSS, attempted to shut down the National Assembly. And you know that former Vice President, what's his name again? Osunbajo.
Simbajo.
Osunbajo fired the DG of DSS, Lawan, and Buhari was not happy with it. And they went and brought another relation of theirs from Bichi in Katsina State, who had retired as DG DSS. They brought him there, and he is just terrorizing everybody in that place. Is blocking people's progression, those staff who are there. And is this same bitch now whom Tinubu is using? Tinubu will have sent in a word yesterday or before then and say, if you want to sack Emefiele, do it in a decent way. He has not yet been found guilty by any competent of law, and the rules are there for him to be tried. All we are saying, the rule of law should prevail, and not the rule of the gun or rule of the DSS.
Thank you so much for the elaborate dive into this topic. It is obvious that, like I said, it seems like attempts to close the page very hurriedly and just wipe these people off history, and not to attract too many questions. And what you've said seems to confirm that. And I'm also wondering about the involvement of the federal government in this. And remember, the federal government backed up the idea initially that there were no casualties. And remember, we also have our president of Biden, of the United States President Biden, who said Buhari was a model of democracy. And now we are getting to know that 103 people, and these are the people that are counted, the people that are accounted for. What if there are others that are not accounted for? I think it's a tragedy. But let's hear from Sir George Chuku from Toronto. What do you have to say about this?
Mhm. I will just continue to sit under my oak tree and laugh and watch, because you look at it from the way it is. Cain killed Abel according to the word of God, and the blood of Abel was crying out from the ground. God said that the blood of your brother is crying out from the ground, and that blood is still crying out for revenge. And every single innocent soul, those young people that were killed on that Lekki tollgate, which they have been trying to, cover up, though the blood is crying out, and that's the reason why that thing leaked. And believe me, no single individual that actually participated in those massacre of these young people will go free. Their blood, the blood of these young people, will seek out all these individuals and eventually expose them. When you lie to cover up something, what will happen is eventually you will continue to lie. But you see, what leaked this thing was the blood of these young individuals crying out. And judgment is going to come upon every single person that participated in hiding, all those people that pulled that gun, the people that ordered it, and everything that happened during that time. It is not over yet. They can eventually use 500,000 to bury 500,000 naira to bury each one of those young people that were killed. But he's going somewhere to wait for every one of them. You watch and see. And the death of these individuals will never go in vain. It's all a lie. Where Nigeria has become such a deplorable place where people can see black and call it white, and see white and call it black, and just with all impunity, without even thinking whether where are we. You see, the worst thing about lying is if you are a bad liar, it is so sad. Because when you're lying good, then that means that people might not be able to detect that you're lying. But these people don't even care anymore. They just massacred these young people, put them all inside that place, lied about it, and continued lying, even when the truth is glaring in our faces. Glaring in our faces. And who okay, 500,000 for mass burial, 500,000 per each person, right? So these are the things we're talking about in a country. Now, all of a sudden, we're coming to a place where, a gang style of governance is what is happening in Nigeria with Emefiele. You see, a new government that just came in, a man that has terrorized Nigeria for many years. is now blandishing his, AK-47, open in the air, and making, proudly saying, anybody that deals with our president will deal with that individual. That's a country that we're talking about. But all these things are stemming from somewhere that none of us are understanding where it's coming from. Let me tell you the secret of all this. This is Sharia law that is glaring in our faces, and we don't even understand it. You remember when the Supreme Court said that the old naira can be spent, and our former president Buhari came out and countered that. Why do you think that he will have the impunity to come out? Another arm of the government made a decision, and yet the president and executive president under the executive branch came out and countered that.
Mm.
And you understand? You understand
right.
what it means?
Right. Because of shortage of time, I wanted to touch on another subject. Milan, do you have anything to add before we move on to the next topic?
Thank you very much. No, I don't. I think they've pretty said everything. The NSAS situation is, like George said, the blood crying out. Imagine how that document got leaked. On Sunday, we got it here, and we were all surprised. A letter indicating that the Lagos State government had approved a certain amount, 61 million naira, for mass burial of 103 people. Now, take note that this is their own figure. There is the real figure of the NSAS debt. So, and you begin to ask, even though they came up, when this thing leaked, they came up with a lot of stories. They were saying it's not really the people at the tollgate. These are NSAS clashes that they had in K2, Orile, Ajegule, Ikeja, and some of the casualties in those places. So they were still trying to hide all these things, but it keeps coming out. So, but the mere fact that now we have a proof that, yes, the government was involved in the dismissal of some Nigerians, it's enough to really indict all these people. Take note that Shege's story, we actually wrote a letter to the Hague complaining of all this whole NSAS saga, and we're still waiting on what the outcome will be from that end. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's this is not politics. For some of you who might be watching and saying this is some kind of politics or opposition party or any of this. This is not politics. It doesn't matter what party you're on, APC, PDP, LP. It doesn't matter what party, SDP. It doesn't matter what party you are in. 103 people died on that day. These are people's brothers, fathers, sisters, mothers, daughters, grandchildren, and they are not only not honoring them, giving them mass burial, but they are trying to use them to siphon money and close the pages like as if they didn't exist. Would you even wish that for your enemy? I don't think you wish that for your enemy. This is not politics. This is just a very terrible situation, which we all together as a nation have to understand that if we don't do something about it, it could be, it could be we could be on the receiving end as well. Now, the next thing I want us to talk on is the strike of the resident doctors. We have about 6 minutes before the break. I would like everyone to talk for like 1 minute or 1.5 minutes on this strike. What do you think caused it, and do you think it's warranted, and what is the way out? Let's go with Ambassador Nat.
Okay, thank you again. And you see, this issue of resident doctors going on strike, by their professional ethics, doctors are not supposed to go on strike because they are dealing with human life. Oh, Dr. Ibe, I've forgotten that you are there listening to a layman like
I'm playing the devil's advocate. Thank you. Continue.
So and again, I think in the Nigerian situation, it is these doctors have been pushed to the wall more than pushing them to the wall. They are just asking for basic things, basic facilities to enable them access humanity when they are health challenged. I'm sure if you speak to them as individuals, some of them don't like going on strike every day. But we have a government that doesn't listen, deaf, dumb, and I don't know what words to use again. And but again, if you really look at what is going on, somebody may be there in the Ministry of Health, Federal Ministry of Health or State Ministry of Health, who might be diverting some of these resources to his personal gain. And so I think the doctors have a case. The doctors have a case, and they have kept going on warning strikes, but the government has not been taking them serious. It is when they now go on strike.
Mm-hmm.
People who are in hospital are discharged to go and die at
Thank
home
you
or
so
die on
much.
the street or go
Mm-hmm.
to
Thank you so
herbalists.
much, Ambassador. Nah, thank you so much. We have to move on. Sir George, what
Okay.
do you have to say? I won't add on that. I don't want to be biased. So Sir George, please go ahead.
No, we're talking about brain drain, brain drain. There are so many medical doctors in Nigeria that, actually had hospital that closed down and left to come here. And most of them, when they come here, they have to drive taxi or cab or Uber or Lyft to survive. And they feel happier doing it here until they're able to meet the requirements to become a doctor here. And some of them are working in places where they would never dream to have worked before. But this is what's happening in our country because these legislators and these executive leaders in Nigeria, the judiciary, most of them, they can afford to fly off the country. So when the doctors in Nigeria are going on strike, to them it's of no consequence because none of them are being affected. So the problem we have in Nigeria, the system is broken down. And
Mm,
there's supposed to be a complete and absolute overhaul of the whole
right.
entire system. And the only thing that can solve that problem is a revolution. And I'm not talking about war. I'm not talking about, I'm talking about civil revolution.
Thank you so much, Sir
That's
George.
it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. BD, 1 minute, please. 1 minute on this.
Yeah, the resident doctors are going on strike, and they listed their demand, and the demand includes the payment of MRTF. Now, I want to link the going on strike of resident doctor to NSAS. It boils to one thing in Nigeria: we don't have regard for ourselves. There is no regard for human being, because if we regard human being, we should not be discussing paying doctors their requirements, making them comfortable, understanding the position these people represent in the lives of Nigerian citizens. But because we don't regard ourselves, human life is worth nothing. That is why we can even owe doctors why the National Assemblies are getting 40 billion naira just for a car. Do you understand? So it boils down to one thing: the life of Nigeria is worth nothing. And not until we as citizens stand up and demand that our life is worth something, I don't think we are making a headway.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I want to add that not just about the fact that doctors are playing an important role. It's also consider the fact that doctors put themselves put their lives on the line every day in terms of meeting the sickest of people on a daily basis, and you know, putting their own health as collateral. And also if you this also includes nurses, and then I even want to include ambulance drivers. Have you been in an ambulance before, rushing to take a patient to hospital? Have you been in one before? Just imagine the amount of what do I call it,
Pressure.
the pressure, possibly the million accidents that could have happened before you got to the hospital with that person you're trying to save. So you survive a million accidents to save one patient. But anyway, I think we have to go on a break now. When we come back from the break, we'll touch on other issues, especially Ibori's lawyer paying some money, Davido's reactions, and others. So stay tuned and we'll be right back.
Arise, O compatriots, Oh God of creation, direct our noble cause, guide our.
This country has some of the most extraordinary culinary diversity in the world. I'm talking about Nigeria. This first dish is amala abula, made popular by the Yoruba people in southwest Nigeria. It starts with amala made from dried yam and then is covered in a variety of soups. Next we have ofe and sala, a white soup that is synonymous with the Igbo people of southeastern Nigeria. It goes best with fufu, or akbo as the Igbos call it. Next we have suya, the most well-known food of the Hausa and Fulani people of northern Nigeria. Meat is covered in a peanut-based powder called yaji and cooked over an open fire. This is banga and starch, a classic of the Urhobo people of Delta State. Lastly, we have onunu, a plantain-based swallow of the Izon people in South Nigeria. We are eating it with fisherman's soup, popular throughout this whole region. And of course, we don't forget the jollof rice. This is popular everywhere in Nigeria. I think what makes Nigeria so great is the diversity of all the different people coming together. These beautiful ethnic groups living side by side, sharing culture and cuisine is what makes Nigeria such an amazing country to visit. Nigerians should be so proud of that cultural heritage, as there is so much more that unites than divides them.
A year ago, I wrote a book titled The Final Solution, and I was trying to say to the rest of the world that there are challenges ahead. Now, a prophecy did come, and that prophecy is coming to pass. But I'm telling you, the final solution has been found many years ago in the Bible, because the Bible simply says righteousness exalts a nation and sin is a reproach to the people. So I want you to know that you can get solutions to problems in Ukraine, in Russia, in Nigeria, indeed all parts of the world. We need that solution, and the solution is straightforward. Please get a copy of my book. It is the Final Solution by Bishop Shegun Johnson, and you can find it in Kindle, in Amazon. Just type Bishop Shegun Johnson, The Final Solution. It will come. It's very, very small book you can read within 2 hours, but it contains the final solution. Do get a copy. Not getting it is doing disservice to humanity.
Welcome back. Hello, everyone. So back from our break, and then we'll be continuing with the news headlines that matter to you, that matter to each and every one of us. And then we'll be going straight to the next item on our agenda, which is the UK court orders Ibori's lawyer to pay £28 million, noting that last Friday, Ibori vowed to appeal United Court's ruling, which ordered a confiscation of £101.5 million linked to him. Yeah, I know usually when a case is in court, everyone would try to be careful with what they comment and all of that. But we not being directly connected to the case, I think we can be able to maybe analyze the case for its merits. Do you think there's enough evidence for this judgment? Do you think it was a fair judgment? Do you think his assets should be confiscated? So I think I would like to start with Ambassador Nat in the heart of London. Please tell us, what do you think about this? What are the merits of this case?
I really don't have sufficient information to be able to comment adequately on this issue. So I would like to concede if any of our colleagues can help me and help us.
Okay, who is conversant with this case, and who would like to take it from here? The merits of this case.
It's okay. On Monday, court in London ordered Ibori lawyer to pay 28 million pounds to the courts in London for helping Ibori or helping them conceal some amounts Ibori stole from Nigeria. So that's just the case. Now, my question is this: the Western world, the British, they've every time they try to exonerate themselves from what is happening in Nigeria. Now they want to be part of this stealing. You understand? They stole this money and hid it in your country. Now, you want to be part of this. You remember Ibori actually went to court, went to prison some certain time period when this thing happened. Now, London is now demanding to partake of this money, this stolen money. Sajad, I hope you're here because when I say that this Western world are part of the problem we're having in Nigeria, you said I shouldn't say that. Now they want to partake of this money. For helping Ibori and his lawyer to conceal, to hide this money out of Nigeria. Now they want to be part of this money. That's actually what is happening. And I'm just asking question. They now want to be part of this stealing because if they're asking that they should pay 28 million pounds, is it not stealing?
So, in other words,
Yes.
the motto is still together, get a court, and then find a scapegoat, right? Is that the line?
Absolutely. No.
That is what it is.
That's it.
Still together, take a court while you can, and then find a scapegoat.
Yes.
And then launder the image later. Is that the script?
Yes. You know, the story there also is that there's 100.5 million pounds that has been that is being alleged that Ibori laundered into Britain, and now the British government have seized that money. So I'm aligning with BD now. They've seized that 100.5 million pounds, and now also asking that his lawyer, one Indian guy called Brandash Goli, they've now ordered him to also pay 28 million pounds. So altogether, about 129 million pounds will be going into the coffers of the UK government on this Ibori case. Now, the sad part is there is so much more of Ibori's money still in the UK and in other parts of Europe. According to BD, very, very true, the Europeans are accomplice to all the heists, all the money laundering, all the money crime in Africa, mainly Nigeria. It's not a hidden thing. It's not something we can argue about. They do this, and they do it with all power and all their might. So the court is ordering that the lawyer pays this money or he will be sentenced again. Take note that the lawyer has also served half of a 10-year sentence. Ibori also served half of his year too. And this money is for the people of Delta State. This is their money that has found its way in Europe. So, and we have many other politicians like this that he'd come to Europe and keep money in all parts of Europe. So this is it. It's terrible. Meanwhile, back home, the people suffers. Back home, if children can't feed, if children can't go to school, things are not working. Social amenities are zero. And they launder the money into Europe. The Europeans help them and eventually turn around and do as if they are supporting our government. So it's terrible, Dr. Ibe. It's real sad. This is what is happening. I want us also to, connecting to this, let's also remember the Emefiele saga. I think George has something to say, Dr. Ibe.
Yes, Sir George, go ahead. But before that, I just want to add that can we link this to colonial era relics? I remember even the coronation of His Excellency King Charles. There were also issues saying the crowns, the diamonds were also not originally from England, and Is this just
No, Godwin, it's not.
a way of
There were
life?
also issues. It's no, don't you know? This is a fact. Ambassador Nat will attest to that. Ambassador Nat, it's known. The Queen's crown is stolen. The jewel on the crown is stolen. Everything about the crown.
I'm from Africa.
Yes, from Africa. Everything. So it's
are we to act surprised now?
We are not acting surprised. Remember when the Queen died? They said they asked people to say something about her, and mostly people from Africa said that they don't have anything to say. That the only thing they can say is to return all they've stolen from Africa. That was it. Majority of the things, all those ornaments.
Okay, Sir George is in a Commonwealth nation.
Commonwealth nation. Actually, the problem we have in our country, I'm talking about the money that Ibori allegedly stole, or is already been found guilty. The problem is the people who are supposed to ask for that money or to open that case or to actually reject the court's assertion that the lawyer should pay 28 million. They have a lot of their roots also in London, so they can't speak up. The people that are supposed to ask for the money to come back to Nigeria are part of the problem is that they have their own money, so how can you be asking for politicians making noise when the country you're talking about is hiding some of your own loot? So that's the problem we have. But my question is this: there is something that is insidious that is going on in our country today. Emefiele was, given bail in the court by the court itself, a different entity, another arm of the government. After giving, they were supposed to have released this man under, the jail, the people that are supposed to keep him until he meets the condition, which is what is happens anywhere in all other countries. The DSS now came and was fighting, physically struggling. Who is going to take they park their Helios vehicles alongside the people from the people that are is supposed to have taken this man. All of a sudden, they fought themselves and took this man, Emefiele. Question Nigerians ought to be asking: who gave that order? And why is Emefiele a political detainee or what? Because somebody is giving the order to make sure that this man does not go free. They were arguing in court that they did not take his passport, and they feel that he's going to influence the people that were accused with him. So Nigeria is going somewhere that we as citizens and the people on ground do not understand what's going on. Why are politicians not crying out? Why are all the governors muted over this situation? When the executive government is fighting against the judiciary, something is happening in that country, and we'll eventually see it if care is not taken. Because let me tell you something. What they're trying to do is to suppress the judicial department, arm of the government, to make them a non-entity. Do you see what is going on in Israel right now with Benjamin Netanyahu? It is systematically happening in Nigeria. This is exactly what is happening. And part of the problem we have in our country is we are inside the water and soap is entering our eyes and nobody is saying anything because corruption is from the top. Who ordered this man to be taken by DSS? And who are they?
No, it is clear. I think this is not a question we put. I think all Nigerians know who gives orders and who DSS answerable to.
Can I answer Can I answer him?
Yeah. Just 1 minute. 1 second, okay. Please. 1 second, please.
It's an open secret. Everybody knows. You remember before the election, Bola Tinubu bought tickets. Emefiele bought. Now Emefiele was off. Emefiele, now they said they want to redesign Naira. And Bola Tinubu came out to say that redesign of Naira is to stop him. That it was basically for him. So it's obvious.
Who ordered the design, the redesign or recoloring of the Naira? Who ordered it? That's the question you have to ask.
They said it's Emefiele, but the thing is that Nigerians will leave the head and be attending to the neck. Emefiele cannot work without Buhari. Buhari was the general in charge. Buhari gave order for everything Emefiele did. But nobody's talking about Buhari, but they are focusing on Emefiele. The problem in Nigeria now is between Emefiele and Tinubu. It is obvious. Tinubu is after Emefiele because of what he felt Emefiele did to him to stop him from becoming the Nigerian president. It is obvious. It is clear.
Also, adding to that, Dr. Godwin, adding to what BD is saying, what we saw in the courts yesterday was a very funny situation. In fact, it's more of a comic scene than a legal proceeding. What we saw was operatives of the Department of Service of the Defense Service, DSS. They were both tussling to who takes Emefiele, CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele, into custody. And they were having that tussle with the Nigerian Correctional Service team, the NCS. Now, listen to this. Why they were having that tussle is because whoever takes him into custody gets some cash as gift cash while he's there in custody, because that's what they say he is doing now. I'm giving you confounded press or something you don't hear probably in the conventional news. So while he's in custody, they say he gives out cash and tells you, so that first of all, take note, Emefiele is diabetic 1 patient. So he needs some care. He needs some medicinal care. So while he's in custody, the information is he doles out cash to those around him so that they can take care of him, so that he's safe, so that he's sound and nothing happens to him. So there was that tussle between these two agencies because they know whoever have him will be having some cash. That's the story. Yes.
Mark, this is nothing but the fruit of a tree. Okay? That's the side thing that doesn't even have anything. DSS cannot just ordinarily go in there and force themselves to take this man after he has
but what you are saying is who gave the order? The court.
I believe
the court gave the order. The court rearrested Emefiele again. So it is the court, not nobody but the court.
No, the court did not give the order.
When the court gives order, is it the DSS that's supposed to arrest?
Did not give the order.
No. You people understand what happened yesterday. Emefiele, take note first of all, Emefiele is on some strange counts. The count against him is not even what you people are thinking. It is firearms. Take note of this. Emefiele has been associated with IPOB and some militant organization. Wait, listen. So you need to understand the background story so you know why he's being rearrested.
Please let it be orderly. Please let it be orderly. Please let it be orderly.
No, George, I'm giving you the facts.
Okay, let's listen to BD. Please be very brief. I've asked you to unmute.
Gun. That shotgun is okay. That firearm, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
That firearm, it is a shotgun. And it's a shotgun that most Nigerians have. And who gives permission for that firearm? Is the police commissioner in a state, not even AIG, is commissioner in a state that gives a license for that firearm. Do you understand? So that is what they are parading. But it is not that. Emefiele, when it comes to that firearm they are claiming, he has not committed anything extraordinary. That firearm is the state commissioner that gives the license for it, and that was what they found with Emefiele. He has not committed anything extraordinary.
Okay, thank you so
much. They are
yet
to tell us why. I've told you, it's a personal vendetta. It's a personal vendetta.
Thank you so much, Sir George. Sir George, please could you comment?
What we are doing here is this: we are parading news, okay, from the left-hand side, whereby for so many months they could not say anything that this man did wrong. One thing you have to understand, that Emefiele holds some secret against most of these people. He was being used to move money around. He got these secrets, and they don't want him to come out openly and start opening up his mouth. That's why they're still trying to mute him, number one. Number two is we're talking about DSS coming there because of money they're going to receive. That is absolutely nonsense. Somebody is trying to shut the man up. Somebody is trying to make sure that he does not have the freedom to come out and begin to expose some of the secrets that he has. Let me tell you something. If you understand the way Nigerians do or the government works, then you will understand that something is amiss in this whole saga, that is not clean, but they don't give it air.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sir George. I would like to hear from Ambassador Nat.
Yeah, okay, thank you so much. What happened yesterday at the Federal High Court in Lagos is more of an abomination. It is distasteful, disgraceful, and it's a shame. The DSS, as we know them, they are not even supposed to publicize themselves all over the place. They are not supposed to wear uniforms. It's a secret police that, like the FBI.
That's it.
But going to a federal high court, firing guns within the premises of court, the DSS have put themselves above the laws of the country, and nobody's above the law. And for them it's also intimidating the high court.
Who are they fighting against? Who are they fighting against? Why the exchange of arms?
They were fighting against the judiciary because the high court judge had given an order approving Emefiele's bail, 20 million naira. And it was in the process of trying to perfect the bail so that Emefiele can go home and meet his family. But DSS were bent in making sure that they took Emefiele away. And again, we were told that as usual, they will tell you order from above. The DSS have a deficit of massive mistrust with the Nigerian public. Look at what they did in the court, the case of Shewere, if you won't forget quickly. They did the same thing. They went into the court with guns. And it's a desecration of the temple of justice. And the Nigerian Bar Association have cried out, judiciary has cried out, the DSS officers, especially BD has said, the DG of DSS should be sacked with immediate effect. Because he was, to start with, not even supposed to be there against a retired officer that Buhari brought back. And DSS have been used to harass political enemies, or even any other. If you have a score, you want to settle with anybody, go to the DSS, or sometimes the police, or sometimes the military. And so that's where we find ourselves in a country like Nigeria, that there are individuals or arms of the government above the law.
Above the law. But if we look at, thank you so much, Ambassador. Now, if we look at Nnamdi Kanu's, if we look at now Godwin Emefiele, do you think there's some tribal overtures to this?
Well, the EFCC chairman is from the north, and now nobody even knows where he is, because he also supported Emefiele's currency policy. and the present government think they should be able to deal with him too.
Yeah.
The pressure was too much on DSS to produce Emefiele. If not, Emefiele would have still been locked under their in the arrest
Mhm.
house forever and ever.
So
The thing is,
even you, Ambassador Nat, can see some tribal overtures in this series of activities. I mean, I've been trying to play devil's advocate here, trying to be on the side of everyone, and to. I think many Nigerians will be asking, especially from the southeast, will be asking, well, this is a clear, why is it only our people that, we have this kind of problems? Flagrant violation of court order when it has to do with arresting somebody from that particular region. It seems that way. It may not be true, but I believe that you can sense it in your sixth sense. Not, but anyway, we can't dwell on this because we have just 3 minutes left. I want us to quickly touch on Davido. He has received a lot of heavy backlash over video of one of his proteges. Yeah, controversial music video. Is this backlash deserved? Do you think it was a little bit religiously insensitive? So who is abreast to this information and who can give us some more, light on it?
Mark Godwin, go ahead and speak on that, bro.
Yes. Thank you very much, Sir George. Thank you. Afrobeat singer Davido, David Adeleke, known as Davido, is going through a lot now on the social sphere. After receiving some backlash from the Muslim community in the north of Nigeria. Take note that the funny thing is this music is not, he didn't sing this song. It's just his signee, like you said, his artist, like they call it. A young man called Logos Olori. Logos Olori sang a song, Jaye Law. And in the video of Jaye Law was he depicted Muslims with the Muslim attire and having their prayer gesture, and it had a lot of Muslim religious connotation to the video. Now what the Muslim community, the Northerners, are saying is that the video desecrates their religion, disrespects their religion, and incites some some messages that shouldn't be. So since Monday, we've been seeing cancelled Davido in the north of Nigeria, posters of him being burnt, pictures of him being torn apart and all that. But we begin to ask, is this really what it is? I mean, it's beyond this, because the video, we don't see a lot of those things they say. The thing is, this group of people feel, don't touch anything Muslim, don't touch our religion. That's what they're saying. So at this point, we're also reaching out to Davido and saying, I think he can just apologize and let this go, so he can continue to
apologize and let it go. Okay, I think that's all we can take for today, fortunately. So I'll be expecting to see you all on Friday. Viewers tune in on Friday. We'll be talking more about global news and the news that matter to you and also affect Nigerians around the globe. So with that, I'll be saying see you next time. Goodbye.
see you next time.